have Steven and Core.
Core, I know, is on Prowess.
Yeah.
He's my upstairs neighbor. He's on Prowess. Then we have Steve. And we have our first Final Fantasy.
Old Boros energy with the newest, brewest,
Yeah.
Joshua Phoenix Dominant.
Yeah. I think this card's way better than it looks. I think the text box of Joshua is not as impressive as people like to think. But the 4 toughness makes that secondary text box way more relevant.
Yes. Yeah, and what's interesting is that, I mean, I think when you see cards like this, it reads a little bit like a commander card.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
Sure.
The Transformer's it's basically a million mana. I'm just going to ignore it. But the fact is that it is a little more playable than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
But Core coming out with the old Swifty Spear for the 1 damage right away. And Steven answering with the Guide of Souls. We have 1-drop, the strongest 1-drop of yesterday and the strongest 1-drop of today. So
There you go. All right, so
there's a combo with this is actually maybe one of the best openers for Prowess here, right? It's like turn 1 Prowess creature, turn 2 Corey plus Corey trigger.
I personally like more Dragon Rage Channelers earlier, but
Right, 'cause I mean, like,
if
this
you don't,
is 3
beggars
damage
can't be choosers,
from...
so we're taking 5 here.
Yeah. Right, that's crazy.
Yeah. Modern, specifically with Corey Steelcutter, is just so much more impressive than the other formats, just because of the amount of 0 drops and 0 cast spells that you're actually able to pull off with this.
Yeah. Just catching up on the life totals here. There we go.
That
15
should
to
be
17.
13 now. Yeah.
13 shocking. Yeah, there it is. Oh,
Well,
Guide Pride.
Guide Pride is...
Every burn deck's nightmare to see.
Yeah.
Here's creature that gains life, and here's creature that makes creatures when you gain life. So, a match made in heaven. I mean, it's... Modern Horizons 3 maybe feels like the most blatant set where Wizards is like, here's your combo cards, like, play them.
I think Modern Horizons 3 made decks.
Sure
I think
did.
Modern Horizons 2 upgraded different decks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Modern Horizons 1 I think also made some decks. And
Yeah.
they're like, hey, maybe that's the wrong approach. Let's just upgrade some decks.
Yeah.
Give decks a bunch of, versatile tools.
Yeah.
But the tools were maybe a little bit too versatile, so they wouldn't like too many decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then MFG was like, all right, well, here's your aggro deck, here's your this
Yeah.
deck, here's your that deck, right? Like, we're done.
So, 1 Lava Dart will ruin Steven's day.
Lava looks pretty good here.
Okay, well, we're starting off here. So maybe
Not-
we're digging.
It's not the strongest.
Well,
There's
there
land.
is, there
so
is
free land
Mountain.
good.
I think the other one may be Lava Dart, but let's see.
Free land good.
Because I would just hit Monkey and Cat, and I'd be a zoo killer and then just end up...
Pew pew.
Oh, so it seems like it's Slick Shot Mountain.
Mystery card.
Well, the mystery card's better than the Slick Shot, it looks like. If my Kirby cup and a ball math is... Yeah. It seems like the mystery card was more effective. But,
I mean, at least show
You
us
ever play
a
that Game Boy
removal
game
spell.
when the Kirby balls? Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah. That was like a contest after a while.
I liked a lot of those Kirby minigames. Like the one where you had to
So it is
smack
lightning
the block.
bolt. Okay, so we're just gonna take out Guide of Souls. then.
Guide of Souls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is respectable. We have another monk.
Yeah.
We're just swinging.
Monks coming.
But I think we're just swinging all. I don't think it really, right?
I mean, nothing blocks that favorably. Steven can trade Ragavan for the new monk if he wants, but because both these other creatures are 3,
4,
3,
5.
and 3, 4.
That's 6,
1, 2, 3, 4,
7,
6, 7, 8.
8. Yeah.
So half of Steven's life total here. And without his Guide of Souls, he's whacking away to gain some more.
Getting nothing from it except for a card.
Yeah, this may be a trade with Ragavan, and I could see that. Like your extra mana probably isn't going to help you.
Yeah.
Like only drawing a Flage to kill the Swift Spear would help
like
you.
it's pretty enticing to be like, oh, he swung out, he's tapped out. Like Monkey's definitely getting in.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
so it really does.
I think this is very smart heads up from Steven, where it's just like, this Ragavan is just a shock. Let's just admit it, and then like let's move on with the next. Yeah.
Bombardment.
Bombardment has some utility here. Ocelot Pride has to attack to like gain board neutrality.
Yes.
So Bombardment plus 1-drop would be effective, but we didn't have Bombardment previously. So to me, the reason why you would keep this hand is essentially just a Johnny, right? Like you would just like you would keep it for a Johnny removal spell.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Bombardment changes that math.
Yeah, so the question is, do you play Bombardment, swing with Ocelot Pride, and then throw the cats at the Swift Spear?
I would throw the cat at the monk.
Just one cat at the monk, yeah?
Yeah, because the power is going to be the same, but the toughness is twice as much on the Swift Spear. I wouldn't bother killing the Swift Spear.
Okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You're just looking for board neutrality. These Prowess decks, they actually don't have Trample.
Yes.
It's not Team or Battle Rage. It's Violent Urge, which would
just
give
double
strike.
strike.
Yeah.
But, right, because Delirium gives it trample, right?
No, it's First Strike, then Double Strike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only source of Trample is on the Corey Steel Cutter, and Core will not attach the Corey Steel Cutter to something just to give it Trample.
Yeah.
It's not mana
It
efficient.
takes too much mana to get trample on your card, I mean, I think Steven attacking with this cat is,
I think it's
mandatory.
clockwork. Yeah, I think that part is clockwork, but I think he's just trying to envision what the rest of his turn is going to be, which is understandable.
Because
it's like,
your options are to aggressively ping off the monk.
Yeah.
If I'm core, maybe I use Amida Jank to save it. But then the alternative is to keep them back and then chump and then throw them face or something.
Oh,
right?
so we have a Thraben Charm that we're going to use on the Swift Spear.
Right.
Okay,
So
so
he's
that was
afraid
the
of
other
Swift
removal
Spear.
spell potentially. So yeah, okay.
Is Core on Felia?
Sorry.
Is Core on Steven on Felia? I thought I saw Felia in his hand. Maybe I saw something else. No,
It doesn't seem like there's failures in the main or the side.
Maybe
Voice
it's
of
some
Victory,
other full
Voice of
card,
Victory
might
may
be-
have the alternate art. It may be a voice.
Might be voice, maybe Flage.
Yeah. So Core's going to respond with another Swift Spear, and then another Swift Spear.
All right, now I want to see a non-creature spell here.
We just need to see a Preordain here, Core. Yeah, if we get a Preordain here, I think this attack is bananas.
This goes pretty hard, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of dudes. Right now, your biggest guy's a 2/2. So we need to pump those numbers up. Let's see what you got.
That's okay, actually. I'll get one.
One non-creature spell. I'll take a lightning bolt, even. Something good.
I think one way or another this is an attack,
Yeah.
but
I do think so,
it's how
too.
much level of investment is the attack, and I can see why Core's pausing on this situation. How much damage can I get through these cats versus no cats? And obviously now it's a sorcery spell if you were a poker player. In my opinion, this is now a tank on a sorcery spell.
Right.
It's like, I obviously can't do it instant speed and
So I have
maximize
to
the
figure out
damage.
the rest of my turn right now.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
once we move to combat, all my options are
They're gone.
now.
Yes,
So-
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. To me, it's just To me,
Just
to me,
slamming
it's just
it.
gloves down, and it's like, okay, well, let's just
Are we
trade.
double blocking Swift Spear? Are we?
I would accept this trade. I know it's unfortunate, but like I think Steven is blocking correctly in this situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Or one on each? Okay, so Steven was afraid of the damage. We just put one on each.
Okay.
Didn't bother
Yeah.
to go for the.
Didn't go for the poker line. Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
And I mean, like, that's the safer play because if you double block and Core has literally anything,
It is the
blows up in
safer
your
play, and I
face.
100% agree with this, but it's also a losing play, I believe.
Yeah.
There's nothing effective. Like, you could bin Flage right here, and it doesn't matter. Like, I think that's actually, like, sort of the damning situation at this point. Like, you can bin Flage, untap, crack a fetch land, escape Flage, and you're actually in a losing position. So I wouldn't have done that. personally, but
Yeah,
I would have gone double block on the Swift Spear and forced Core to have the utility in order to save the Swift Spear, and then you would have prevented the damage anyway.
All right.
Like,
Arena of Glory on top.
yeah,
In the trash.
Not effective enough. Yeah.
No. The time is not right for the arena to be winning any games here. So I'm seeing land bombardment.
Yeah.
2 other cards.
It doesn't have any abilities. Oh, it doesn't have it.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, Steven would have now decided or have chosen to play the Goblin Bombardment instead the previous turn instead of the Thraben Charm.
Yeah.
I think that's like, it's one of those hindsight situations. Like, of course, we have perfect information. We're looking at the whole deck and situation, but
You know exactly what they're doing, yeah.
yeah, but I think this is a situation where it's like, that was the wrong move at the wrong time, and that's how these aggro mirrors go. Like, it's one critical decision at one weird time. It's like, it's not the wrong decision; it was the wrong time, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah. Because now I think it's like actually completely irrecoverable. Say there was one left Swiss Spear on the board, 100% we're in the driver's seat. Like, it's that much of a difference, right?
Yeah.
You would have an extra cat token. You could have a bombardment out this turn.
Yeah.
So I think like 2 decisions just didn't line in the timeline there, but that's about it.
Yeah.
From Core's perspective, you just hope nothing gets cast. You crack this Fiery Outlet in a turn, untap. Hopefully you have 2 spells in hand and you just close this game.
Yeah, Core's game line here is just like, please show me some non-creature
Yeah, there you go.
spells.
So crack the Fiery Outlet, let's draw the card.
Yeah. So any combination of non-creature spells is probably going to be enough to win this game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Steven Yad did nothing. So, he has Bombardment, but did not play it. So he's sitting on something else in his hand to respond with.
Yeah, this is preordained here. There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Art.
so from my understanding, like I said, that was my assumption that what happened last turn is just like you're just holding on preordained, just accepting whatever fate you have here. But
Yeah.
Now that we have this situation, I think
Yeah, what top and bottom, not good. I think that's a Lava Dart, which
if that's a lava dart, that's
represents
a GG.
game.
Yeah.
So you just clean up, and then even one removal spell isn't really good enough to save you from certain death. Here comes second spell. Yeah, there's Dart, trigger Corey. And it's over.
Yeah,
Dang. I guess even knew that even playing Bombardment doesn't really do anything. Because I mean, he needs these creatures.
It would have
to
done
block.
it. It would have done it on turn 3.
Yes,
It would have been better
yes.
on turn 3.
Yes.
You trade off Monk token. You
Yes.
keep blocker,
Yes.
and then on blocker, like you just ping them, whatever. Like
Yeah.
if you decided to chump, but I wouldn't have chumped in that turn.
Yeah.
Then you untap, and then you have a Thraben Charm, and you have the Bombardment open, and you have an extra cat token. It's like a completely different game state.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's one of those critical decisions at some point in time where it's like, that Swift Spear is going to get out of control, and I can see how it's so enticing to use a Thraben Charm on it. But like I said, in that matchup, you're not actually just going to kill them because that deck goes wider than you. Even though Boros can be the most wide deck,
Yes.
on average, the average hand, I think the Corey Steelcutter, if there's a Corey Steelcutter on one side and there's not a Johnny on the other, I'm in favor of the Corey Steelcutter.
Yeah.
I think the Boros deck can only get wider if there's double Ocelot, Guide of Souls, or Ocelot of Johnny. I don't see, it never gets any wider.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter because the Corey Steelcutter will now try and go taller because it has trample.
Yes.
Right? So it's like the Corey Steelcutter is actually attacking the Boros deck in 2 different axes, and the Boros.
And that it's going wide, and it's also invalidating any chump blocker.
I'm putting it this way: the Boros players the control deck in this format.
Yes.
Like for this
100%,
this
yes.
this specific matchup.
They're gaining life, they're stalling, they're playing Flage.
Yes, they're playing Flage. That is
right?
actually like
That's
the
their
critical
gameplay.
point. Yeah.
It's not like, jump my dude, attack you in the air, right? Like,
And this is why Boros has been like so prevalent because it's fast enough to kill a deck like Amulet Titan, but it's flexible enough to be a control deck against
It
Izzet
still
Prowess.
has the long game.
Yes. It's so effective at doing both of these
I
things.
mean,
which is,
there's a reason it was playing the One Ring when it was legal, right? Because
I think everyone was trying to play it, but
but like, you wouldn't expect a deck that kind of tops out on the curve at 3 to then also play like a 4-drop card advantage spell.
Yeah, I think the
know?
One Ring has been like a very awkward learning lesson for everyone who's played competitive Magic, but like,
Yeah, I mean, it shows that like if any card is good enough, any deck will play it. Which
Yes.
I mean, we all kind of knew deep down when you saw Burn splashing
memory jar good enough?
blue and green for like Oko, right? Like,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
like Lightning Bolt, Fetch, Breeding Pool,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So when you're seeing lines like that, and Boros definitely, is an aggro deck that is closer to mid range than I think people give it credit for.
So
Right.
on Core's side for the Prowess matchup, I would specifically say put the Unholy Heats in.
Yes.
And I would say take the Lightning Bolts out.
Really?
Yeah, you don't want to ruin anything. Like, the Boros player is going to bring in removal.
Yeah.
Expressive
You need
iteration,
iteration
I
to-
think you need iteration.
Yeah, you have to
so
recover.
this is what I always like to think about. It's like, you can go to, like, all the previous articles, like who's the beatdown example.
Yeah.
But there's also something about matching speed in Modern, which is like more of a newer concept.
Yeah.
The Boros player is going to try and slow you down. If you take out all your slow cards, you're going to get punished.
Yeah.
So, to me, cards like Mutagenic Growth can actually act like mental misstep.
Yes.
I would keep them.
Yes.
Cards like Lightning Bolt, they could just like look really dumb really quick.
Yeah.
But
especially if they have the like really strong opener where they get the counters on the God of Souls, and now it's a 3/4.
Yeah.
And you just can't kill it.
Yeah. To me, it's between Lightning Bolt and Swift Spear, actually, as to what you cut.
Yeah, I was also thinking about what number of creatures do you cut in this matchup,
Swift
right?
Spear, when your Boros opponent is on the play and they play Ragavan and you play Swift Spear, no matter
You
what,
kind of have to chomp, or trade, I guess. But
yeah, like it's just like it's not impressive enough.
Yeah.
So it looks like both players have kept 7, and we're starting off with the exact Guide of Souls.
Yeah.
So
the very strong Boros
Yeah.
opener. I mean, this is where you want to be, especially against any aggro deck. 'Cause
Yeah.
here's new Soul Sister.
Yeah.
Right. Like any burn deck's nightmare.
yeah, to me, Unholy Heat and its flexibility with having Delirium in order to reach a card like a Johnny's Pride, like a Johnny or Flage, is infinitely better than just being able to do 3 to the dome, because you won't be winning based off a life total race.
Yes.
You'll only be winning based off of board state, right? So it's like, to me, it's like if there's an Ajani here, it's like, well, Bolt and Heat had the same flexibility, except you lost all your potential late game.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 2 gained energy off of the Galvanic Discharge, and we have an Onslaught Pride. This
Yeah.
is a fantastic opening for
Yeah,
Steven.
this is
and
like-
this is exactly where the weakness of a card like Swift Spear would shine. Like, it's just like you just wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to.
like Steven probably doesn't even bother shooting it.
No,
right?
your new board state with a untapped Swift. You could play 2 Swift Spear here and it wouldn't be relevant.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, here's also where Lightning Bolt looks bad, is that Steven has gotten his extra energy.
Yeah.
He followed it straight into the Guide of Souls,
Yeah.
and now it's 3/4 unboltable.
yeah,
And right, it's a card that, as bursty as Prowess can be, Guide of Souls very quickly
Yes.
drains all of your burst away.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you're dead.
Yeah.
Right? There's just no way to keep
Yeah.
up with like the constant life gain.
Yeah, exactly. So now there's a contention for board state and cards in hand,
Yeah.
and Core has to respond in kind.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for the Prowess deck to do this, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. I mean, this is also like a great example of how Steven has set the tempo of the match.
Yes.
Where because Core didn't have the removal spell, he's like, well, I'm gonna also play creature, right? So like you're saying
Yeah.
God of Souls, I'll set up with
Yeah.
DRC. Then Core's like, okay, here's removal, and then I get to also advance game plan with my second one drawn.
Yeah.
Right. So now Core has no threats, and he has 2 permanents he kind of has to deal with at some point.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
yeah.
think Prowess has any board wipes, right?
No, some play Rough Tumble
Yeah. Okay.
or Pyroclasm,
yeah.
but there's none in the sideboard. It's just multiple more copies of Unholy Heat.
Yeah, just more single target stuff. So yeah, it looks like Core has to find one. He has to turn on Delirium,
Yeah.
and then he's got to find Unholy Heat. In
that
one
check
of
on the
those-
graveyard to me seems that there is at least copies of Unholy Heat
Yeah,
available. But
my math shows you at 2 right now, Core.
Yeah.
So you got to find another.
yeah,
2.
I'd be hitting Onslaught Pride. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
It's
just beat the
it's
Pride.
unfortunate that the Guided Souls is still gonna live.
Yes, but the combination of Guide Pride you have to break the engine up
Yes.
at some point, right? Otherwise, it will run away with the game here. I mean, having to do anything. You play any card, you gain a life, you gain a cat.
Yeah, so a tapped land is good news for core, but bidding the Flage is not.
Yeah.
So now we already have the late
Turns
game
out
presence.
Tapland was Entomb in disguise.
Yeah.
So thanks,
Yeah.
Flage, for showing up in the graveyard.
Yeah.
My Survey land drew me a card, actually.
Yeah.
And Voice of Victory, not that bad against Prowess. It stops some of the tricks with like growth and stuff,
Yeah.
but honestly not crazy.
Yeah, but that's only on blocking duty anyway, because it only works on your turn. It's actually not an instant sorcery shut-off, right?
Yes.
Sometimes people get confused about that, but like
Yeah.
specifically,
That's what I mean.
Very
Like, it's not
specifically,
like-
Steven's turn is free range now.
Yes. But Core wasn't really doing things on Steven's turn that much anyway.
Yeah.
The real threat is that it gains him 2 life per turn right now.
Yeah.
So Core really needs to kill his God of Souls like
Yeah.
right now.
Instant, land, and creature, the only card types in the
Yeah,
graveyard
so the first heat may help the second heat, but looks like we're... All right, Slick Shot. I was anticipating a Expressive, but Slick not too bad, and might put some pressure on Steven to hold back the Guide of Souls if he's afraid of getting smashed in the air. Because, I mean...
But you wouldn't be able to anymore because there's no instants or sorceries that are able to be played. Right, the Voice of Victory actually stops.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
what I mean is that like, the Boros set doesn't really have any flying blockers outside of the flying counter from God of Souls. So
Oh, yes,
by
I
swinging
see.
out here, like, Steven gains some energy or gains some life, goes to 23.
I think you're just blocking a cat here for a Johnny's sakes, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, get him while you can. And decides to jump the Voice of Victory, so also a very big
I would.
big card
If I was
now.
in Steven's position,
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's
totally.
absolutely the correct
The more
decision.
things that are out of lightning bolt range, the better.
Yeah.
Right. So, Core.
This might be a harsh lesson right soon.
This might be mountain for what? Nothing. Is this a blunder? Are we learning something today?
Yeah, I think we're learning something. Today.
We're reading, or we didn't read cards. We're gonna read cards right now. Steven's letting it happen. Points at the. Oh, maybe they realize now. Starts counting out damage. Like, oh wait, what does Voice of Victory say? No, they're just. That's magic, I guess.
We'll all learn one day.
We'll all learn one day. It looks like maybe Steven's supposed to. I thought the lesson was for Core. Maybe the lesson's for Steven.
Yeah, maybe. Still dead.
All right. Still dead, though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But I'll let him know just in case for next time. It didn't impact the match, but it could impact the match.
It could have, yeah.
Reminded both players that Voice of Victory does in fact have text on it.
Yeah.
So, blunder from both sides, but I mean, this is kind of one of the parts of Paper Magic that is just a different skill set when it comes to like online, where like,
Well, why isn't the client letting me do this?
yeah,
Arena,
right?
what's wrong with you?
yeah. I've had opponents on Magic Online where I'm playing some stupid Taxes deck. I have like
Yeah.
Archive of Miriam play,
Yeah.
and I see them like tapping mana,
Yeah.
untapping mana,
Yeah.
tapping mana, 'cause they're trying to cast a second spell.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm begging you, opponent, read what my cards do.
Yeah.
They're not just
Yeah.
white shitters. They
Yeah.
have effects on them.
Yeah. At least Arena like gives that little red aura hue
Yes.
on the card, but on MTGO it's like it always allows you to potentially do something.
Yeah.
It's like why do you highlight counterspell? Like I have no mana open. Like you know what I mean? Like it does
Yeah.
that weird
Yeah.
old programming versus.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is. All right.
But at
well,
the same time, I think the auto tab feature is complete trash on
Oh,
Arena.
100%. 100%.
Like, why are my payments?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'll cast a spell and it's like, I'm going to leave your 2 colorless Mutabolts open.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Huh? But Core with no 1-drop this game. A little sad from the Prowess deck. But if his hand consists of
Double slick shot, I think.
double
it's still,
slick shot, then that's reasonable.
You're still on the play. You're still able to present a turn 2 threat on turn 2.
Yeah.
Whether it be a slick shot or a Corey Steel Cutter.
Yeah.
Like, it's still viable. It's obviously like not optimal, but it doesn't mean that the hand was a mulligan either. So.
Yeah.
Or it also is respectable in the fact where you can like just play tempo here, use a removal spell on the Guided Souls, untap, play a Corey Steel Cutter. Like, and then you would change tempo dramatically just by doing this.
Yes. Yeah. What's your feelings on the plot on Slick Shot? Is it flavor text?
Oh no, it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
When are you plotting? What's the game state where you're like, well, I better plot this in.
Oh, my opponent played Watery Grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, my opponent plays Watery Grave.
Yeah.
I'm plotting Slick Shot.
They play blue land. You're like Slick Shot. Plot it right away.
You're holding
You're
that
playing
spell
counter
snare.
spells?
Yeah, you're playing that spell snare the rest of the
Yeah.
game. That mana is open. It's essentially acting as a Stone Rain for the rest of the game. Like the
A little game of like weird like chicken where like
Yes.
as long as I have 1 mana open, you can't
Yes.
play that. But as long as I
Yes.
don't play this, you have to leave 1 mana
Yes,
open.
if you interact on the stack, plot is your best friend.
Okay,
Like
okay.
100%.
Yeah.
It looks like Core is also
So there is the
respecting
plot. Yeah,
on-
he's like, well,
it's like, well,
end step, bolt your guy.
playing around
plot.
potential sweepers and also other potential
And it is fun
removal
where
spells.
you effectively kind of show your opponent, but they can't remove it.
Yes.
Right? Where it's like, hey, here it's set up for next turn to
Yeah.
fly out and for me to double spell and
Yeah.
dome you for like a million damage.
Even maybe respecting the notion of plot just because it's like, well, I have an Arid Mesa now.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And also that's a fun combo. Just
Another
now you
synergy
can
right
play
there,
your
yeah.
2/2 drops
Yeah.
to your Steel Cutter and bada bing, bada boom. But
No
Steven,
follow-up land, but there is an attack.
Yeah. And here comes Steven. So Steven does have the Galvanic Discharge here.
This is mutagenic growth territory.
This
like
would be
100
a gnarly growth right here.
100% mutagenic growth territory.
Yeah, this would be an absolutely disgusting growth. And I mean, this is also the funny part about Discharge. I feel like this has been a reoccurring design choice for Wizards, is that they've tried to reduce the number of gotchas and feel bads for more and more cards over the years. It's why a bunch of cards now either like don't target or they target yourself and the thing. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't get weird scenarios where like, oh, hexproof whole spell thistles, right?
Yeah.
Where Discharge feels a little egregious, where, even if Core does have the gotcha of like, here's growth, Steve just goes, okay, I spend no energy,
Yeah.
right?
Just
and,
gains 3
and
energy.
still gets an energy battery, and then gets to like
Yeah.
pump Goddess Souls.
Yeah,
So,
this is
here comes
discharge.
this.
There we go. Here we go.
There
Yeah,
it
there it
is.
is. Yeah.
Yo!
This is huge. Yeah.
Mutagenic growth. Just like we wrote it up, but
Yeah. So now he's going to be taking 5 from the slick shot and 3 from the monk.
Yes.
So this is an attack for 8. Steven should be at 9.
Yeah.
And then now.
8 plus misstep.
Yeah.
Or half a misstep.
Yeah.
He's looking at energy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Saves his guy, basically.
Yeah. So Steven should be at 9, and then Core should be 14, I believe, and then like even though Core didn't have a follow-up spell. Yeah. Oh no, he fetched. He should be at 8. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think they just corrected like rules there. Yeah. So now
fetched for the discharge.
Yeah, now we're in this situation where it's just like, okay, it seems like he brought in some Celestial Purges to remove this slick shot, so I can see Ocelot Pride Celestial Purge being the follow-up right here, right now.
Purge, also a nice card against Corey, in my opinion. Sure, doesn't remove
It's
the
good
bomb,
enough.
but it's good enough.
It's good enough. If it hits
There it is.
Overlord of the Bale Merc and Corey Steelcutter, it's decent enough in modern
Right.
metagame right now. Right? Yeah.
All right. It's 2 mana for 2 mana. Like, that's the baseline for...
This is actually a very interesting removal. I am more afraid of the Corey Steelcutter personally more afraid of the Slick Shot than the Corey Steelcutter.
Yeah.
It seems like Steven isn't. So let's see how this plays out.
I think maybe his life total is spooking him a little bit, where it's easier
I think that life total is very deceptive. I think 10 is very close to 0.
Yes, that's what I mean. Is that, or sorry, he's not respecting his life total enough, right? He's thinking like, oh, I have to get rid of Corey because of the long game.
Yeah.
Corey's good, but with the right number of cards, Steven's tapped out. He could be dead.
Yeah. If there's one Lava Dart here, he's actually just technically dead, right? Lava Dart hit, flashback, attack. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's dead. He'd be dead.
Right. Also, like Lightning Bolt represents effectively 5 damage, so like double bolt also kills.
That's Corey. Oh my god.
Corey Bobble. So Slick Shot already at 5 power now.
Yeah, this Ocelot I think has
the other monk at 3 now. Something he might have. I mean, he certainly has to block the 1 monk.
No, one of these bodies. Well, the 3/3 has to be blocked by the 1/1 attack at
5, 6. It's likely that 7 damage is getting in here.
There is a block.
Yeah, so that monk is a 3/3. That other monk is a 2/2. So is it taking 8 and leaving the Corey monk up? Or no, leaving the non-Corey monk up, and because Steven could trade with the new monk.
I don't think trading with the new monk is effective enough.
Just chomp with the cat.
I think if you
take your 7 damage, go to 3.
Yeah, like you've played into this line, you have to lean into the mistake.
Yeah,
like for sure. Yeah, you have to lean into the mistake and hope it rewards you at this point.
Yeah.
Because this Slick Shot, obviously one spell is within range, even if there's 2 creatures that enter the board. Yeah. There's a Flage. There we go. Okay, Flage has to take out Slick Shot here. Because I don't think that there's a world where the energy and the attack actually ends Core. Like Core would be at 2 life, so yeah, the Slick Shot has to go.
Yeah. So, but effectively 4 life here, not bad. Up to 7.
And then we'll go up to 8. And then 9. Yeah, any one extra spell. So Steven took a gamble, but it's paying him off right now. So
yeah.
Then we're choosing to play a fetch instead of the shocked, instead of the Sacred Fountain tapped. Maybe there's not enough cards for Flage in the graveyard. I don't see that. Oh, maybe there isn't. Okay. Yeah.
No, there is enough. There's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I played at the very end here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Exactly enough. And yeah, Steve's at 11 now, thanks to pumping the Ocelot Pride.
Yeah, this has to be expressive, and it has to be into like bobbled land Lava Dart or something.
All right, I see Mutagenic Growth land.
Mutagenic Growth
Lava
is a
Dart,
very
maybe?
good start. Mutagenic Growth is a very good start.
Does he have land in hand? If he has land in hand, then he can, and then has, all right, land to exile, probably growth to hand. Fetch. Yeah, he's got to go for the kill right now, I think. Is there a kill here? It has to involve Lava Dart, right? I believe this turn is do or die.
If there's Lava Dart Mutagenic Growth, this is 11.
Exactly?
Yeah.
Even through the
because you kill the cat token.
The cat, yes, you have to clean up the cat.
That's Swift
Spear.
So now you get another Corey token.
Yeah, second Corey. So I think we still have growth. Swift Spear Haste is relevant.
Those 2 are 3/3s.
Yeah. Or no, they're 2/2s. They're 2/2s.
Are they?
Because we've only Expressive so far. Expressive and Swift Spear for the trigger. Yeah, attack all.
Block a 2/2.
And then growth. Go down to 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
The growth represents 5.
5.
6, 7, 8, 9. Steven's still at 2.
Josh short? Core doing the math.
Yeah, one
calculation.
Growth, yeah, no, it doesn't do it.
Scooping
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up.
Yeah, he'll be at 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gained just enough life that last turn. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I do believe that's it. There's a very high removal risk from Steven's end, but it ended up benefiting him.
Yeah.
Like the Corey Steel Cutter wouldn't have done anywhere near as much damage as the Slick Shot.
Yeah. Small blunder there where I think waiting that one extra turn on Slick Shot gave Core that extra opening to possibly win.
Yeah. I can understand it's like, hey, I have this Purge for the Corey, and I have this Flage for the Slick, but it's like...
Because you can't reverse those removal
Yes.
spells.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But at the same time, it's like, there's something that's relevant, there's something that's not relevant, right? Like, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I think if Core hit that one land that one turn, I think this game was, like, actually over. And when he was at 10 life...
Yeah,
just to
because
be
on
able
that
to play
last turn, if he
even
was
if
able
he-
to get 2 spells instead of land spell,
Yes.
then you go like Swift Spear, spell, mutagenic,
Yeah.
that would have been...
That's it. It's not even close there.
Yeah, wow.
But interesting game, interesting dynamic. It's always difficult between Boros and Prowess as to like who's actually favored. But I think the dynamics are just so unique and interesting. It's sort of hard to tell what is what.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like I think it's clear that Prowess has the early game and Boros has the late game. It's that middle area
Yes,
of
that's-
where the corner turn is.
Yes, yeah, and each deck is trying to steer in opposite directions,
Yes.
where it's like in that middle ground. It's like, because you can make it look like early game turn 5 if you're on Prowess,
Yes.
but you can also make it look really late if you're on Boros too. It's,
Yes.
it's sort of interesting to see that dynamic. Yeah.
Well, that's round 2.
Round 2.